What if I told you there's a master hunter living in Africa's rivers that you've probably never seen? An otter so stealthy it thrives in the very waters where crocodiles and hippos rule. Picture a river at dusk in sub-Saharan Africa. The surface is still, broken only by the snort of a hippo or the splash of a fish. But beneath the water, something else is moving, a sleek, shadowy shape with whiskers that sense every vibration. This is the African clawless otter, one of the continent's most mysterious and adaptable mammals. While lions and elephants dominate the headlines, this otter has quietly carved out a life in some of Africa's most challenging environments. It doesn't have claws on its front feet, a unique trait that sets it apart from every other otter in the world. And that's just the beginning of its story. To survive here, it's had to become a master of stealth, intelligence, and pure instinct. But how does it thrive in waters filled with predators? And what happens when its hidden world starts to disappear? The answers lie in the secret geography of its home, the rivers, lakes, and wetlands that shape its every move. Let's slip beneath the surface and explore the habitat of the African clawless otter. This otter's story begins with its name. Clawless isn't just a quirky detail, it's a clue to its entire way of life. Unlike other otters that use claws for digging or gripping, this species relies on sensitivity. Its front paws are almost hand-like, with delicate fingers that can feel for prey in muddy riverbeds or under rocks. That specialization means it can't live just anywhere. It needs specific kinds of waterways, clear enough for hunting, but complex enough for hiding. Across much of Africa, from Senegal in the west to Ethiopia in the east, and all the way down to South Africa, this otter has claimed territories in freshwater systems that offer both food and refuge. But not all rivers are equal in its eyes. It avoids fast-flowing, rocky streams where it might struggle to hunt. Instead, it seeks out calm, meandering rivers, quiet lagoons, and lush marshlands, places where the water moves slowly and the bottom is soft. These are its supermarkets and its sanctuaries, but a safe home is only half the battle. The real challenge begins each day at dusk when the otter leaves its den to hunt. Its favorite meal? Crabs, frogs, and fish. Using those sensitive fingers, it rummages through the mud, detecting movement too subtle for eyes to see. It's mostly nocturnal, which helps it avoid the heat and the attention of larger predators, and it needs to be careful. These waters are shared with Nile crocodiles, hippos, and even large monitor lizards. So how does a medium-sized otter survive in such dangerous company? Through a mix of strategy and secrecy. It often hunts in shallow water where big predators can't easily follow. It uses dense reed beds and overhanging vegetation as cover. And it's a surprisingly good climber, sometimes scrambling onto low branches or rocky outcrops to eat or rest, safely above the waterline. But its most brilliant adaptation might be its dens. Unlike some animals that dig simple burrows, the African clawless otter often uses natural cavities, hollow logs, rock crevices, or abandoned aardvark holes, and frequently chooses sites with underwater entrances. That means it can slip in and out without being seen, and it can escape into the water if threatened on land. These dens are usually located close to the water's edge, often hidden by roots or thick vegetation. A single otter might maintain several dens across its territory, moving between them to avoid detection. It's a lifestyle built on caution and intelligence, yet for all its skill, the African clawless otter faces a growing threat: the slow erosion of its habitat. Wetlands across Africa are being drained for agriculture. Rivers are dammed for irrigation. Pollution from farms and towns washes into the water, clouding the visibility and poisoning the prey. And as human settlements expand, otters are increasingly forced into contact with people, sometimes raiding fish farms, which leads to conflict. In many regions, their populations are declining not because they're being hunted, but because their homes are quietly vanishing. But there is hope. In places like the Okavango Delta, the wetlands of Zambia, or protected stretches of the Gambia River, conservation efforts are focusing on preserving these freshwater ecosystems. By protecting the rivers, we protect the otters and all the other species that depend on clean, flowing water. The African clawless otter has become an unofficial ambassador for Africa's freshwater habitats, a reminder that what happens beneath the surface matters just as much as what happens above it. So the next time you think of African wildlife, remember the clawless otter, gliding through moonlit waters, reading the river with its hands, and surviving in a world of hidden dangers. It doesn't have the fame of the lion or the size of the elephant, but it possesses something just as powerful: the quiet resilience of a creature perfectly adapted to its home. And in protecting that home, we don't just save a species, we preserve a piece of Africa's wild soul. Which African animal's hidden habitat should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stories of the wild, subscribe to Rare Species.